Hey everybody, this is JDGaming back with a duel video for you today. So basically, the initial run of this screen recording software has been successful, so I'm going to go and try playing this for you guys. It's basically going to be a way for me to show you guys the profiles that I've already done for you in action, as well as to get myself back into this game because I haven't had all the time in the world to play lately, so it'll hopefully be an entertaining win-win for both of us. So this is going to be more of like a slower, laid-back type of video in the sense that it's not like an action-packed replay. I just can't guarantee any type of content within just a replay. You know, it has to be really a gem of a game for it to be worth showcasing, in my opinion. And there will be some of those, I would think. But for the most part, I feel like it'd be more, I guess, valuable and insightful for you guys to be able to see how these decks work. And of course, I'm going to be playing not just my own creations, but like other things that I just like playing. I'll do, you know, things to mix it up a bit. So let's see, I'm playing against an unknown deck. He just played 2 back row, and now I have both of my trap holes already. Okay, he goes and breakthroughs. That's totally fine. So let's press for some damage here. I'm gonna save the Jurigato for when I'm able to go and block a potential big attack. That 1000 attack boost for the turn cycle is very valuable. And I can't exactly win this turn, even if I drop the Jurigato and do an attack pump, and that's why I'm not gonna go and invest in that right now. Because even if I had the 2700 for Jurigato, you know, that's just not enough at the moment. So we're going to leave that as is, and I'm just gonna just keep these 2 monsters on board, because I can still make a safe Xyz summon so long as he doesn't Raigeki or Dark Hole on these 2 floaters that have already 1-for-1, or +1, in the case of the successful resolution of the first Myrmilio. So let's see here. I drew 2 of my dichotomies. I run 3 in this deck, so it's like a 5% chance that I draw 2. Not the best thing, but should be able to resolve that pretty soon. So ShaddollSworn variant. It's not a Lila or anything immediately detrimental to my back row, so I'm just going to let it be. I can't guarantee I'll be able to force through both of his back row next turn. This one's probably not too bad, but this one, it's a new card, it's a new variable, I have no idea exactly what's going to happen. So I'm just going to leave it as is. And again, right now, there's no reason for me to go and drop Jurigato for an attack pump, because it's just not going to get much mileage, or I'm not going to get much mileage out of the card that way. So we're going to keep it there for now. And let's see, just mills 2. Oh, it's a Shaddol variant. So he gets his first, he gets his search off of the Hedgehog. So he's added Falco. Of course, it's the flip effect. He can go and revive one of his guys. Interesting. So let's see here. At this point, it might be worth normaling this thing. I'm going to normal Jurigato, which will let me special summon this Kage. And I'm going to try pushing with Lance in the damage step. Bottomless Trap Hole. Let's see. Well, Jurigato's effect can still attack pump my guy. In that case, it won't get destroyed either, or it won't get banished, which will allow me to use it as a 3rd type for the dichotomy. So I will use that effect there. No reason to let it die. And now I don't even need to use my Lance to force through. I won't win, but it is what it is. I'm going to push through with this thing. And she's already been 1-for-1 off of the breakthrough skill, so she's already covered herself. Now this Jurigato attack pump lasts until the end of the next turn, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this Lance in an attempt to kind of like bait out his stuff, I guess, and then I'm going to make an Xyz summon the following turn when I don't have this attack pump anymore. The 26 is a pretty menacing guy right now. If he tries to attack the Kagato, I can flip this, or just snare his monster with Bottomless, and I should be able to then just poke for damage and win. But he does have that Falco, so he might just set that in his turn. Oh, Shaddol Fusion, okay. So he's going to go and fuse. Probably the Falco with a light monster to go Construct. Unfortunately, I didn't get the search of my Nightmare. So unfortunate, but I can at least, like, he'll get his effect, but I can at least get rid of the Construct and prevent it from hitting the grave, so we can prevent him from getting his Shaddol back. Oh, Paradox Fusion. Very interesting tech I did not expect to see, but Yeah, he's gonna be able to negate my guy. Alright. At least he loses his Shadoll monster for, I think, 2 standby phases or so. Yeah, so it's gonna be a bit difficult for him to survive if I can just push through this back row, or this back monster rather. So he's getting his Falco's effect off. Oh, that was the construct effect, and now he just set Falco. Alright. Oh, so he set another Falco so that he can summon it to the board. Interesting. Let's see. I could not dichotomy yet, because I don't have this reptile. Do I go Xyz summon? He's gonna bring back a monster that Kageto will not be able to kill. But if he goes and summons Falco, I can block it. He might go Shaddoll Hedgehog, though, which would give him a free fusion. I don't really want that at the moment, but looking at my extra, if we look at our Xyz options here, there isn't that much I can do at the moment in terms of clearing his effects. So I'm actually thinking it might be... If he were to go for Hedgehog and set it to the board, I could just set my Compulse and send it back to his hand to slow him down a turn. In the process loading Dichotomy, I could just try banishing his 2 monsters, which would give him no targets. But then Rhapsody has no business trying to attack because it's just way too weak. So I might have to just go and... Let's see here. I think... Given I can't get rid of his guy, I think I am going to go for King of the Fair Limbs. And I'm going to make an attempt to go and net some free stuff with the Dichotomy, returning things back to the deck. Please hurry. I did. You have no right to tell me to go and hurry, dude. I'm limited to 3 minutes. I can use them. Let's see. He's gonna get this Falco's effect off. I'm just gonna kill this Falco. So he has his choice of summoning, not Falco, but Hedgehog. And... oh, he goes and does this. Do I want to burn the lance on this? I can't think of any spell or trap at the moment that he'd have, especially because he's burned through quite a lot of back row. I don't think he's going to have a follow-up back row, so I'm going to try pushing this move through. And we'll end at that. So now we got Fiend, Reptile, and Insect in the grave. And if he goes and kills the King Gremlin, or the King of the Fair Limbs, my apologies for using that picture title there, but I should have extra types, so let's see. He's going to shoot all fusion. It's his field. But he could use his extra deck because I do have an extra deck monster on board. I'm going to keep the Compulse in case he goes in Windows, because Window would be pretty annoying. And if he decides to go Construct, I can just get rid of that as well. It'll get its search, but at least it won't get its retrieval effect. And with 2 of his Shaddoll fusions, Shaddoll fusions in the grave, in addition to his Shaddoll fusion that just hit the grave, he shouldn't have too many options for synchro, or for fusions anymore. So let's see here. No reason to hit him on the summon. I'm just going to let him do what he wants. Maybe force him into his battle phase to invest that attack. I mean, he can fetch another card with Shaddoll Hedgehog, but it is what it is. The Alchemic Being, Homunculus, interesting. It's playing this. I mean, it's playable in Shaddolls, but I don't know if it's really something phenomenal because it's a plant, so it's not even like the best option, in my opinion. Like, it's an interesting tech. I can see why you would want to use it, but I don't know if it's really worth it. Maybe as a side if you just want to go and get something, but then at the same time you could just side in a different attribute that's useful. So, let's see. Got a little more of a slow start with double Traptrix Myrmilio, but we're doing okay right now. Almost have the game. And now he just has a bunch of set monsters, so that's the second turn. He gets that El Shaddol construct back. So Magellane with Kageto is fantastic here. I'm going to be able to go and return all three of these guys. So now I can go and normal this, special this Kageto, which will let me establish an Xyz summon for Castel to get rid of this big bad monster here. But we're going to go and fetch, of course, another copy of Kage Kage that we just recycled with Dichotomy, and that will let us go and bring out a big Dichotomy play the following turn if necessary. I'm trying not to go for a number because I want to go Utopic Future as a wrap-up. Or at least potentially go Utopic Future as a wrap-up. We're going to detach both of these to get rid of that construct, which should load us a Spellcaster Reptile and Insect in the Grave. We're ready for the second Dichotomy. And I can't attack this turn due to the Dichotomy. I don't see any particular reason to go and seize these two right now because I can just recycle everything if need be. So I'm not going to go Utopic Future. He doesn't have anything I can attack right now, and even if I could, even if he did, I couldn't. So just going to sit on these resources at the moment, and let's see if we can recycle a Magellane so that I don't have to worry so much about these Magellanes being dead. Let's see, Shaddol Falco is activated. I mean, I'm not going to kill it. It's going to get its search anyway. If he goes for some Synchro, I don't really think it's going to be that bad. So he goes for Dragon. Can't flip it this turn, which is good. But he summons another one, or flips his other one. Alright, I mean, that's perfectly fine. If I get a Castel again for free, I will probably end up making it if he summons another Shaddol Fusion, so perfectly fine. He's finally going for that Shaddol Fusion play. He has the ability to go Trishula now, which is pretty bad. I'd actually want him to not go Trishula, so I am going to get rid of his monster. So yeah, that adds up to 9 right there, and he has that tuner, so he could go with that Trishula, devastate my board, and then go for a fusion. So, you know, he's getting his search, but at least I can stop his big synchro play. If he goes Goyo, I mean, he goes Goyo, but King Gremlin or King of the Fair Lamps is nothing but a big beater for him. So he has chosen his Shaddol Fusion, good. And yes, he is following up with Synchro play. So yes, we did stop his Trishula there. And now he's going, is he going for Shekinaga, or is he just going for a second Shaddol? Like, I still do have the extra duck thing, so I guess he could just use something in his hand, or that dragon. The fact that the Goyo's there means he does have an Earth if he so chooses to go for Shekinaga or Shekinaga. And it looks like he's going for another construct. Totally fine. So he's getting a search. This dragon's set on the board. This turn can't move. He's already normaled, has he? Not exactly sure. I honestly don't remember if he's normaled this turn. He's done so many flip summons and such. I'm actually thinking that he might still have his normal summon left. But I still don't think he's going to be able to... Yeah, there's his normal. I don't think he's going to be able to go and push for game right now, so I should have a fighting chance. We got a pretty big turn in, I'm not going to lie. That was a bunch of quick flip effects in a row in quick succession, getting him tons of free stuff on the board. But considering if I attacked him, he would have triggered them anyway. I mean, I could have, I guess, at best stopped him from having a Goyo because he wouldn't have the materials. But as long as we're not dead, we can always go and do something. it's a little unfortunate that that King of the Fair Limbs is hostage on his side. Shadowhound, what's this do? So if it's sent to the grave, you can change the battle position of a monster, but then only Shaddolls activate. Okay, interesting. So right now I do want to activate this. We're going to add Magdalene for sure. I mean, Aurelio's not horrible, and I can't get Kage to Kage right now, so I'm actually thinking, or King of the Fair Limbs, so I'm just going to go and choose the Ghost Ogre. Still a useful teleport target. And wow, we drew double teleport here, which is phenomenal. So, first we're going to activate this effect. We're not going to use the effect of Kage to Kage, because we can Black Rose him. And once we have the 7 out, and destroy his entire board, I mean, he's going to get a Shaddol Fusion off of this construct, but unless he draws something really good next turn, he should have no business trying to kill me. And then the book should get me some decent defense as well. His Dragon's effect can't kill anything. So yeah, I am safe for the time being. I'm not even going to set the teleport. The Book of Moon's enough. Because if he burns one of his 2 cards off of, you know, like let's say it's an MST and he kills my Book of Moon, there's no way the other guy's going to do 2600 to me in one go. Alright, so what do we do now? Now I guess we can make a big push. So we're going to go and play this. Yes, we're going to activate the effect of Kageto. I can't use another Magdalene Search, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, I have quite a lot on board. I could make an Xyz summon, but my attack sum won't really increase because the cap is 2500 on that Dark Rebellion Xyz. So we're just going to go and attack for both of these, and then teleport as a quick play spell in the battle phase. After all this damage is done, he's probably thinking he's safe for now. And given that situation, he's probably thinking, okay, I'm safe. He may or may not flip it here, but even if he doesn't flip it there, there's a chance he might flip it as a last ditch because he doesn't think he's dead at the moment. But again, there's a chance that he can't respond to a quick play spell in the damage or in the battle phase, and this could potentially be game right here. So we're just gonna go for something that has some attack power. We're gonna go for this, which will allow me to establish an Eteria Beast turn 2 or main phase 2 with the Vanities, and that should be game if I can't clear him for 700 right now. And do we have it? Yes, there we go, folks. So we did end up winning this game, and I'll be back with a quick recap and going over basically what I might have done differently for this match. Alright, so we are back over here with a quick recap of this duel. Feel free to leave in the comments down below if you notice anything that I should have done differently to improve the game. I do realize, you know, depending on the deck, there are chances that there will be plenty of branching options that might have changed the game, but right now I'm just looking to see, is there a definite improvement I could have done? Could I have avoided a mistake? You know, that kind of stuff. I need to see an improvement, otherwise there's no real reason to change it. That's play style. So let's see here. I ended up going first. Well, first of all, just a quick note. In general, this deck wants to go second with the deck I'm playing because you get a free card, which is good for this kind of like advantage-based grinding deck, because you know it's supposed to use its back row to neutralize the opponent and establish +1s off its cards. Well, second allows it to establish those pluses a lot more easily because it has one more card to begin with, and you have the shot of using your Assault Halberd, which actually happened to be right on top of my deck. Like, I would have gotten that search off. Like, I didn't know this. I just said there was a possibility, but you know, there it is. Case in point right there. So this deck does want to go second, so I guess right off the bat, I was in the wrong mentality joining this. I even had the choice, but we'll just assume that, let's say that was out of my control. That is something that I would like to do in the future though, go second whenever possible. So I ended up going and searching Bottomless. The reason I chose Bottomless is because I had no idea what this other guy's playing. It's just much more versatile, I feel like. You can go and hit all the pendulums, you can go and hit, you know, just annoying beaters. It just is a lot more flexible than Triptych Strapple Nightmare. I don't think Bottomless is necessarily more powerful, I just feel like it's a better, more versatile option for this point. So here he goes and sets 2 back row. I had no idea what he was playing at this point, so I just decided let's go play free floater number 2. And I got 1 for 1, but you know, at least at that point I got a free card off the opponent. So we did 3,200 damage there to kind of establish the pace for the first couple turns. And he goes and sets his second card, which actually ends up being Bottomless, and he sets his, or summons his Jane. And of course, the reason I said I didn't want to play the Jurigato there is because I didn't want to have it get no mileage other than it being an attack pump. And the reason I didn't play Lance face down is because I have no idea what this other deck is playing. There's a good chance that he'd be able to just blow Lance out of the field, and I wouldn't have it to stop these 2 back row if I need it. Like, let's say one of them is an MST, and the MST is the Lance, well, then I might be in trouble if I fall into the other trap, whatever it was. So that's my reasoning for not playing either of my pumps to the field. I mean, with full life points, I wasn't in huge danger, and with Dichotomy, I could cycle almost anything. So here, don't see anything different I could do right now, but yeah, basically Jurigato would get extra mileage if I got it to the grave, because I did end up successfully using Dichotomy on it. It did save it from banishment by Bottomless. And here the reason I didn't go for an Xyz summon is if you look at the extra deck here, I don't have a tuner at the moment, so none of the synchros are live, but if you look at the extra deck portion of it, like, I'm not really sure what he's playing. He might be playing Lightsworn, so like Karen Gorgon might work, but not a huge incentive to do that. There's nothing huge I want to remove with Castel or Honor Arc. Dark Rebellion is best to kill big beaters I can't get rid of otherwise. And then this thing I can just search for another copy of Kagato, but the fact that it wouldn't actually get me much other than that, because I have no other monsters to follow up with that Kagato, the following turn made it not an option for me at the moment. I just decided, you know, let's leave my Xyz option open for later. And then in terms of this thing, Rhapsody, like, there's nothing to banish yet. I just found out he had his, I guess I found out he had this from the milling, but, you know, I didn't really see anything in the moment that I wanted to get rid of, so I just allowed him to take through damage and left those. And my reasoning for Lance here is because at this point he has 1 thing face down, so I do have the ability to cancel it. There's still a chance of an end phase MST, but at least at that point he would have nothing on the board, and it would also force Kagato into as a beater, kind of like a 19, so if he goes and attacks it, most likely lose the battle, or I could just kill it with Bottomless, and these 2 then would be able to do a total of 2,700 the following turn after the loss of the attack boost. And I was aiming for game there, but he does have that Shaddol Fusion. Goes for the Construct, and he even negates the Bottomless with Paradox Fusion, which is a very nice play here. That's probably the key card that allowed him to continue playing this game. Alright, so here I ended up consolidating for the King. And the main reason here is this would allow me to go and play the Dichotomy on the following turn, because that got me to 3. I already explained why I attacked this here. So the one thing I didn't know is that he had this thing in his hand. I was expecting him to be able to fetch it with the Shaddol Hedgehog, potentially shoot him off balance, but he actually went and played his Construct here, which made it, you know, that's just a better target for me to bounce back to the extra. And because Compulse is chainable, I decided to wait until I really needed to. So I mean, I got him to waste a Shaddol Dragon off of that, so not necessarily a free card in terms of advantage of what's already drawn from the deck, but I did get rid of his option to do that later and his option to get other free cards. A different guy. Magellane was a very nice draw for the Dichotomy, albeit, you know, I drew 2 of them between my draw and the Dichotomy itself. This allowed me to make a pretty large play getting rid of this, and then if he had something else, I could have gone F-Zero Utopic Future. Didn't have to do that in this instance, but yeah, I was pretty confident that he couldn't push for game right now, so I just left his things on board. I couldn't even kill him because of Dichotomy. And let's see here. So this was to avoid the Trishula, and I'm actually going to check right now. He most likely had a Trishula. Oh, interesting. He did not have a Trishula. But given the fact that that is a huge threat that could have happened, I don't really feel like it was a misplay, because if I had gotten Trishulette, I would have lost this thing. I could have potentially lost the Ghost Ogre in my hand. I mean, I guess I could kill the Trishula, but I still would have lost something else in my hand. You know, if I lost this, I couldn't make an Xyz play. If I lost this, I couldn't recycle. If I lost one of these, then I'd actually be lucky, but very unlikely. And then the fact that he could just mess with my graveyard would have been a problem for me as well, given the low number of resources I had to use Dichotomy on. So he ends up establishing a huge board successfully as a result of all of his set guys, and steals the King Gremlin, or King of the Fairlamps. Fortunately, between my draw phase and the Dichotomy, I was able to draw at least one teleport. So possible outs here would have been Raigeki. I could have drawn Soul Charge into something, or a single teleport, and I happened to draw a double teleport, which is awesome. Black Rose, clutch Black Rose there. I don't really think it's a huge element of luck in this case. Yes, there is some element of luck, but the fact is, I still had 3 teleports in my deck. I still had Soul Charge and Raigeki. That's 5 cards left in about like 28-ish. And I had 3 draws that turn, so it was a pretty good shot at going and getting that, getting some sort of out to his stuff. Or I could have, you know, had, I don't know, some other, let's see what other outs I had. So, Raigeki, Soul Charge would have been definite options. Interesting things like Jurigato would have given me an attack pump for the entire turn. That could have been helpful. So I guess in terms of just real power plays, the best way to get out of that situation was the Black Rose, and I did have a decent shot at it. Got it. And what was his Black Rose? Last Black Rose was a breakthrough skill, which unfortunately didn't help him all that much because Magellane didn't even have an effect. And the teleport was all I needed for the game. And then had that been an attack stopper, as long as it didn't banish my recover, I should have been able to go for an Etruria Beast, main phase 2 if he didn't die, and set this Emptiness. So I feel like at this point I was pretty much set. So I'd say the biggest thing I would have changed in that game was definitely going second, just because with this strategy, it's just the nature of floater extra special deck. You want to go second so that you can get more free cards off of just going second, getting your draw, and you want to be able to go and make your special summons off of your Assault Halberd. But I guess there is a trade-off there. I mean, the only reason I was able to play back row in that first turn was because of the fact that I had the Myrmilio fetch it, and then I was able to set it turn 1. So there is a bit of a trade-off there. But yeah, feel free to let me know down in the comments what you might have done differently. Hope you guys enjoyed this entire style of video. If there are any improvements you would like to see, or just different suggestions you'd like me to try out, I'm open to those as well. This is a fully experimental process, and I hope we can go and develop this thing, make it something entertaining for all of us. So thanks guys, this is JDGaming. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.